what that button do, and we're going to be talking about Marisa's next crouching normal, and that is her crouching medium punch, which is just crouch medium. This is one of Marisa's absolute best buttons. It's an 8-frame startup, which is 1 frame slower than Ken's crouch medium kick, but actually the same as many of the Shoto crouch medium kicks in the game. It is drive rush cancelable, and it can lead to very big combos on hit. On hit, generally you're going to want to go into the stand medium kick. In that same situation, on block, if you went for this, it's not the end of the world. You're still +2. I mentioned this in a pinned comment for my video about the stand medium kick, but from here you can catch them mashing with a crouch light punch, or you can micro walk forward into a throw. If they were in the corner, you don't have to micro walk forward, and the throw is actually real and also beats them mashing. So not the end of the world. Alternatively, you can do a cancel into a true string off of this, into your jab, and I will get into what you can do from there in the episode about Marisa's crouch jab, her crouch light punch, but that's not bad either because it still sets up a guessing situation, and any drive rush cancel into a jab is a true string that can only be interrupted by a drive reversal. Ken cannot reversal in that gap. A DP or a super does not come out here. The only thing that would come out after Marisa turns green is a drive reversal, which isn't really the end of the world. And of course, if they're just blocking or parrying, you can go into a throw. And as a hard read, if they're just blocking or parrying, it's super fake if you get interrupted by like anything, but it can still be a good call out. This button is great when you are buffering the drive rush cancel behind it, meaning you are tapping parry in the window where if it did connect on hit or on block, you would get a drive rush. But you won't get a drive rush if you're not close enough for it to hit. As you can see, I'm doing the same inputs here, but then it only comes out on hit or on block, and you can then hit confirm. This is a great way to potentially quickly whiff punish if they whiff like a crouch medium kick in your face. You can, when you are moving around in neutral, be buffering this to try to catch them throwing out a button. If you have a read on when they are likely to attempt to throw out a poke, it is very good against crouch medium kicks in particular, and it is one way that you can stop people trying to walk into your space and potentially get a really big combo off of it. On just raw hit, this button is +7, which means it combos into your medium punch target combo. On counter hit, or punish counter, it'll combo into your back heavy punch, if you've really got those with the hit confirms. Because this button is special cancelable, it is also DI cancelable, which also means that in many situations where if you went for this on Oki, you would eat the DI. If you went for this on Oki instead, you would still be able to DI back if they attempt to wake up DI. This is also good for when you have them in the corner as a pressure tool, because if they try to DI, you can always just cancel this into a DI back and not be at risk of them drive impacting their way out of the corner. One of Marisa's best wall splat scenarios to set up on block is a drive rush into this button. Particularly when they are in burnout, that is a guaranteed stun. If they do not have super, they cannot mash out of it. That is one way you can set up your wall splat scenario. On block, this button is +2. Which means throw beats mashing, jab beats mashing, and if they just try to walk away from you after blocking, your light auto combo will actually capture the walk back, and that auto combo hit confirms for you. So if he didn't walk backwards and he just blocked, you are not at risk of the cancel coming out when it didn't work out. You can also, of course, shimmy in any +3 situation. So if he tries to delay tech because you've been showing throw there, GG's. This button can also be good as a drive rush check, potentially, particularly preemptively. Again, if you were buffering the drive rush cancel, then if you had just thrown it out in case they turn green, maybe even at round star, it'll sometimes catch drive rushes that are really difficult to just react to, like Jury or DJ, and then again, you can hit confirm into your full combo. In terms of just playing the neutral, I also will often, if I don't just do this by itself to keep them close, just doing this into Gladius is not bad. It does push them pretty far away, so it's kind of the end of your pressure and resets to neutral, but it's safe. I don't believe he can DP in the gap there. Let me check. Okay, he can DP in the gap there, but a lot of times people won't. I basically never have that happen to me. You have to just see how your opponent likes to play. But this is a good string because they would have to immediately preemptively DP. They can't just guess if you're going to do the Gladius or not, and it's not really reactable on just startup. So most of the time, in case you just did the button, they're not going to randomly DP. This is a pretty safe sequence. And then if he wasn't blocking, great, you get a knockdown. And that is about all I have to say about Marisa's crouch medium punch. If you found this helpful, drop a like, a comment, a sub, watch the rest of the playlist, share it with a friend, and have a great day.